Don't think too hard. You might actually learn something about money, life, and love. It's Lunch Money with your hosts, Mike and Joaquin. Woo!
Yeah, that's a good intro, man. I can't believe you came up with that. I mean, if you're good at
Came
one
with it.
thing, is coming up with like those taglines. There's just cool.
Dude, it's what I do when I'm on the toilet. I just think of stuff like that.
Yeah. See,
It's a natural
I'm
ability.
just on my phone scrolling my life away, I guess.
Yeah, I'm creating content while I'm sitting on the toilet. It's my talent, dude. It's what I was born to do.
I can see
Anyway,
that.
so so episode number 4.
Yikes! You know,
The time has
usually
come.
I kind of stop around 2 or 3, so this is setting new marks for me, man.
Yeah, this is excellent. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
This is
Thanks.
good.
Thanks.
So I had to move rooms because my other room was not. The internet was terrible in there. So I just transitioned over to the game room. So it's my new studio.
Yeah, yeah. Inside joke there. Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. You look much better. There's no more robot mic coming at me, so I like it a lot. Sweet. And then plus, you can just ball out on us one of these days. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go grab a ball, and I would go grab one, but I'm in my pajama pants, so I don't want
Yeah,
to
he's
embarrass
not wearing
myself.
pants.
I'm not wearing pants. So yeah, how was your day today?
Good, good. I just finished watching the debates not too long ago.
Yeah,
Very
me too.
interesting. Went on a hike
Yeah.
today, so I was a little bit physical. You know, I can't complain.
Let's get physical. Good for you. I was not physical at all. So
Yeah, yeah.
at
What
least
about you? You watch the debates?
I did watch the debates. It was very good, very interesting. Thought they were very well done. I liked the moderator. I thought Trump and Biden did well, and it was good entertainment. Good
Good
something to watch.
entertainment. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I want from my presidential debates.
Yeah, it was just. It wasn't as entertaining as before, where they were like fighting and stuff.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah,
I
it
think
was still
that
good.
debate would have been better off just giving the two old men some boxing gloves and then they can figure it out. You know?
Oh yeah,
I just,
throw a couple flies in
yeah,
there, and
yeah.
it'll be good. I've already voted, so it didn't sway me either way. I just enjoy watching stuff. It's crazy because you and I were on the phone yesterday,
Uh
and I
huh.
was driving back to my town, and I was on the bridge, and some lady like weaved in and out, going all crazy, and I was on the phone with you, and I said, "Holy cow! That lady's gonna kill somebody." And then like I said, and then I was like, "I gotta go. This car's on fire." And I pulled over on the side of the interstate, and this car that was weaving in front of me like 2 minutes before, all of a sudden was on the interstate on fire. And I got out, and I was like, "Have y'all called 911?" And they're like, "No." They pulled 3 women out of this burning car,
Jesus.
and they put them in the car, and they were bleeding. They were like, "Oh, and they were all alive, thank God. But called 911, and it was like rush hour, so
Right.
the fire department couldn't get there. This thing was engulfed in flames. And the woods next to it were burning.
Jesus.
It was amazing. And being like a normal American, I was like videoing it, with my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah. You
So
had to record it. You had to
I
record.
had to. It was like, "Thank you, 911. Okay, bye." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "What do I
So
do now?" Oh yeah, record.
you caused that accident because you were like, these people, bad things are gonna happen to them. So be careful with Mike. He's very powerful.
Your words are powerful. No, you know what? The guy that pulled them out said he saw that there were drugs in the vehicle. I
Okay.
don't know if they were running from someone
Oh
or
wow.
what, but all the evidence was disposed of in the
Do
fire.
you
So I guess it was
think
good for
now
them.
hear me out here? They burned the car on purpose.
Maybe. I don't know, man, because when I got there, the fire was starting in the engine. It
Oh,
was
okay,
like,
okay.
yeah, they couldn't have got down. It was these ladies. They
Right.
weren't going to get down there and start a fire with their
Yeah,
lighter.
today on the way home from work, I witnessed an accident. I didn't see it happen, but it was very fresh, and I did absolutely nothing. I mean, I thought about you. I was like, I almost cursed. I was like, dude, you know what? Mike would have done something, but maybe next time instead of thinking about it, I would do something. But
Maybe it's just,
it's just,
I don't know. It's
yeah,
just a knee-jerk reaction just to like jump out and,
yeah.
you know. But, well, cool. That's an exciting day. And, yeah, the debates were good. And just,
Yeah,
it's,
I'm still waiting to see who's got my vote. So I really did enjoy watching these debates. Again, it was fair on both sides. It wasn't too amazing for anyone, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think they were entertaining and
Yeah,
somewhat
like this
informative.
this debate, Trump didn't like attack him, but I
Yeah,
mean, man, and Biden, man, he's struggling. He's not there all
my
the way when he
my
speaks. He's just
thing
like,
is like apparently it could be a stutter or people say it's a stutter, but whatever it is,
Hmm.
it makes me feel very cringe and like I don't like it
Yeah.
when he does that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he closes his eyes and he's
Yeah,
searching
yeah. It's like
for it. You
again,
know.
it could be a stutter. I hear people on the left say that it is a stutter. It's not like there's something wrong, but whatever
Maybe
it
so.
is, like it ain't. I don't like it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Hey, and so just switch gears here. You know, this is our fourth
Yep.
episode, and we have gotten a lot of new subs and just
Crazy. It's
friends
crazy,
and
dude.
likes and stuff, views. I mean, well, what the heck?
Yeah.
I'm not used to such things.
Yeah, no, but like good feedback all across the board. It's been pretty amazing, man. So thank you guys so much for watching, for liking, for commenting. I mean, it really does mean a lot. We kind of send feedback to each other on the
Yeah.
text, and it's pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, and we it really really encourages us. It does. And there's sometimes when I'm reading, people will send me like paragraphs of critique. You know, "Oh, you should have done this, or this was good, or you did this." And I'm like, where? Wow, thank you.
Yeah,
You know, it means a lot that you took the time
exactly.
to write all this stuff, and it was really really means a lot. It does.
Yeah, no, it's
So
been
don't stop.
yeah, great support from across the board from young people, old people, men, women, everyone. It's just been amazing. Not a single thumbs down in any of the videos. That's one of my favorite things. And yeah,
Amazing.
it's just I cannot complain and I'm super happy that you guys are watching.
One thing we want to encourage you to do, if you're like watching this or any of our episodes and you want to say something, do it in the comments below. Just go ahead and write it in there and be like, you know, I don't agree with you, or you're stupid, or yeah, that was great, or you know, I hate pink shirts, or anything like that. You know, you can just put that in there, and then we'll start a little conversation down there. But do we have an Instagram now?
Yes, we do. You came up with a great name because of course lunch money was taken. So that is what
Yeah,
is it? What is it?
Lunch
See,
Moolah.
I always make him say it because I can't say it like that, dude.
You can't.
No, no.
It's Moolah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it'd be in
Moolah.
the description down below. Same thing with an email if you want to email us, Mike
Mm-hmm.
and Joaquin at gmail.com. We'll go ahead and read that stuff there. And again, if you want to be on the show, that's a good way to get a hold of us and be like you want to.
Yeah.
I know we're working on some stuff with some people already, so stay tuned with that. We're definitely going to have some of you guys on and talk to you. I'm very excited because so far out of all the guests, I don't know any of them, so I'm very excited to get to know them.
they're all they're all people I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, except I think you have a cousin.
Yeah, I
Or
have a
something.
cousin that'd
Yeah.
probably be the third or second guest. We'll see.
Hmm.
That you don't know. So
Well, I can promise you this: all our guests are not famous. So
yeah, just yet. Just yet.
just yet, yeah. But yeah, no, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to speaking to them all and learning something. So, accidentally learning something on this show. That's cool. So let's get into it, man. So in this episode, what are we talking about?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about like goals, and I think it's a good way to start this episode because I feel like a lot of you guys might not know like what lunch money is. You know, I feel like we're kind of building it out as so you guys are seeing this. It's like we jumped off a cliff and we're seeing if we can build some sort of airship or airplane.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
so I think goals definitely do play a role for that success.
We're trying to we're trying to evolve this show into what we actually want it to be.
Yes.
And a lot of it is when we first started, we didn't even know what it was supposed to be. We just knew that, hey, Joaquin's a friend. I'm his friend. We knew each other. We talk every now and then on the
Right.
phone. And he's been asking me for like a year or so. Every time we talk, he's like, man, let's do a podcast. Let's do a podcast. I'm like, dude, I don't have time for that. I don't know what to do. And he's like, man, you know, I'll do a lot of the work, and if you can do it, all you gotta do is talk. And I'm like, well, I can talk. I can do that. I do that every day on the phone for like hours and hours. So, yeah. So it was like, just let's do it. Let's try it. And I did one, and it was like, this was so much fun to do, and it was just
I saw
a
it in his
blast.
eyes. I knew I
He
got him.
did.
Again, like I had no idea what this is or how this was, but I knew this was gonna be great. And it's not great yet, but I think it's getting good. And I really, again, appreciate all the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So we just are doing the thing. You know, sometimes in life, it's just you just gotta go. You know.
Just got to do
So
it.
now we're taking that time to think about where we want this podcast show to be in the next few months, and I think it's
Mm-hmm.
very important to take a break and establish those goals that we have for the podcast or show. So yeah, what do you want to get out of this? What do you want to give people out of this? What are your goals with lunch money?
Me personally, I'm trying to become famous and extremely wealthy. That's my goal
Right.
with
Well, I'm
this.
gonna be honest
Honestly, I
with
mean, I'm
you.
just be sincere.
It's probably not gonna happen.
Probably, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It might, but probably not gonna happen.
Dang.
Yeah.
So you say there's a chance,
There is
though.
a there's always a chance.
No, really, man. I have a theater background. I was a theater major in college, and I was in theater in high school. So I love to just entertain and perform as part of my nature, as part of my personality. So really, honestly, I find joy when people give me feedback and say, "Hey, your show." Y'all, you two guys made me laugh. That's like my reward right there. That's
Right.
like worth $1,000,000 to
Yeah.
me. And so I like that. I just want to entertain. And if we can accidentally educate somebody on something, because I'm not an expert on anything, and so,
I mean, you kind of are though. You know.
oh, dude, no. I mean, I'm not that guy.
Okay.
I mean, some people were comparing me to Dave Ramsey in some of the
Whoa, that's
messages, but I just,
pretty high praise, man. That guy sold millions of copies of books and is listened to
I'm
across the
not.
nation.
No, I tell people, if my philosophy is between Dave Ramsey, if Dave Ramsey and Robert Kiyosaki had a child, that's how I think right there.
Robert
So,
Kiyosaki is the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I think one of his newer books is called Fake. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
he's an author. Yeah,
Yeah, and he'll be on the show next weekend.
dude, that was a secret.
No way.
uh,
Yeah. So if you don't know who Robert Kiyosaki is, just turn on your YouTube channel. He's all over the
yeah,
place.
he's been doing the thing on YouTube, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's really the way. That's really kind of my goal. What about your goal for this show?
Yeah, my goal is just to be consistent with the show, improve it every way we can. Kind of goes back to what we were talking about before. You know, we really don't know what we're doing here, but we're
Mm-hmm.
trying to make it better each time we come on, right? And of course
Yes.
to have fun, and lastly, hopefully entertain. I mean, educate any little way from maybe something you didn't know to at least get your mind thinking about things in a little bit of a different way. I feel right now we all need a place where we can go and just be free and express ourselves and be welcomed. And I hope that this is it for you guys.
We're kind of like the Cheers of podcasts.
Oh,
You
dude, you're
know.
so old. You're so old.
Yeah, that's true. You probably don't even know what that show is. Cheers.
What are you?
I'm Norm. Yeah, you don't even know what that. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
All my old people
Yeah,
will
I'm
know
sure.
what that
And
is.
again, it's beautiful because there's just as many young people. It's like, what is he
I
saying?
know. I know. We have a good wide audience. We're like from cradle to the grave.
Yeah. Oh,
We
I
got,
forgot
like,
to
all
mention
this.
this too. On the analytics, it's pretty 50-50 men and women, dude. It's pretty amazing. Yeah,
Really?
I think it's
Wow.
55 men, 45 women. So, ladies, good job.
Good job, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we will definitely have some women on as guests and stuff like that because they're smarter than us
For sure.
anyway. So
And prettier to look at.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into it. So we're talking about the goals of this show. How about goals in general?
Yeah, so for goals in general, I think it's very important to just kind of take a step back and just assess your situation. A lot of people, like most common goals, what are they? Like get out of debt, fat loss. Do you have any that come to mind? Most common goals out there?
Let's see. Get out of debt, fat loss. Yeah.
Solid. Yeah, great original idea. No, yeah. So for sure, I think it's very important. I'm a personal trainer, so I do see this quite a bit where a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are stuck in that victim mentality, right? A lineage of overweight people, unhealthy people, or I can't do this because of my mom is like this, or and I feel like that victimhood mentality really kind of sets you up for failure. So I think it's very important to go back, take that step back, and tell yourself that you do have control of what you can control. So it's okay if your family is very unhealthy, you still can take responsibility for yourself, your body, your actions, and actually implement the change, right? Because if you have a goal of losing 50 pounds in a year or whatever the time frame is,
Mm-hmm.
if you still think you're the victim, you'll kind of always be coming up with excuses or, like, again, setting yourself up for failure. So I think it's very important for you to really take that responsibility and take initiative that you do have control of the situation, that you're not a victim. Even though your deck of cards, that your hand was dealt very poorly, like, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You still can be better. What do you think of that?
Okay. That was awesome. Victim mentality. Because when I think of goals, I think of pure willpower. I don't think of victim mentality. I don't even think that, it's a mindset change
Mm-hmm.
to get your goals. So That's really good. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So again, like a lot of people think that goals are all about discipline, hard work, and of course that plays a role, but another thing that's very important is controlling your environment. So I'm just going to run with the fat loss again, right? Let's say you
Hmm.
want to lose weight. So of course we all know what to do, right? Like what do you need to do to lose weight?
Need to eat right. Need to exercise. Need to stop hanging out with certain people who don't eat right and don't
So
exercise.
everyone knows what to do to lose weight. Same thing. How do
Yeah.
you get out of debt?
So you cut up your credit cards, start paying off your debt little by little, and
Yeah, but again,
you
there's
know,
millions of people that are not happy with their body, and there's millions of people that are not happy with their financial situation. So you have to control your environment because, I mean, we all have a limited amount of willpower, right?
yeah,
So in the morning, maybe you have high willpower, so you say no to the donut. And then in the afternoon, you're still pretty strong in there. You had a kind of bad day at work, so you say no to the hamburger. But then you come home and you're just tired of seeing the kids trashing out the house because they've been home all day with COVID and it's just a mess. So you go to the freezer and just eat a giant pint of ice cream, right? So it doesn't matter
yes,
how much willpower you have. It was just depleted at that moment in time. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or that you have no discipline. It's just
hmm,
your environment isn't suited to your goals. So when I say control
right,
your environment, you have to purge all the bad things that you don't want that are going to give you those excuses, give you that setback. So get all the Twinkies out of your fridge, get all the junk food out of your house, and then you can run through that same scenario where you said no to the donut and the hamburger, and you come home and instead of ice cream, you have a healthy fruit or a different option because the ice cream isn't in the refrigerator or in the freezer.
yeah.
I mean, who the hell puts ice cream in the refrigerator?
No, I one time I put milk in the pantry when I was a kid. That was wrong.
When you were a kid or when you were really drunk?
I do it all the time.
Okay,
I do it all the time.
that was yesterday. That was yesterday.
No, but yeah. So if we're talking about fitness and stuff right now, about goals and everything, the thing I always like go to bed at night. And I'm always like, I'm gonna start tomorrow. I'm gonna start eating right. I'm gonna just get back on it. I'm just not. And then like the next day happens, and I start off the morning. I drink a cup of coffee, and I'm out the door. And then I'm just going, going, going. And before I know it, 2 o'clock, I haven't eaten lunch. So I go and eat, and I eat this lunch. And then I'm like, bleh. And then that night I eat again. And then at night later, I eat a little more. It's just like, and I just don't ever do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So that's where another big thing is like the habits, right? You have to really think about, and we haven't even really touched on goals yet. So people are like, "What? Well, like goals." So you have to think about like the habits that are gonna really set you up to the success to hit your goal, right? So these habits, you have to think about them before you kind of even set your goals, so that way you can actually stick with them.
so you need to set a goal to set goals.
Yes,
No.
I mean,
But what you're saying is there is a nucleus that needs to be dealt with so we can effectively even stick to our goals.
yes, because
Is what you're saying.
the goal. What is the goal, right? Like fat loss. What is the goal? Is the goal really to lose weight, or is the goal to become a healthier person? That's where it's very important to, set smart goals, set goals that you can smart goals, specific. I think I have them here.
Hmm.
Measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely based, right? You can Google
Yeah.
that. I'm sure there's many people on the internet giving you that kind of information.
Okay, so the average person starts off the year setting goals. They're called New Year's
Hmm.
resolutions, and we don't stick to them. We all try to, and
Yes.
but I mean, realistically, it's October right now. If we're wanting to set goals for next year, we need to start them now. We need to start thinking about them now,
Yeah,
right?
for sure, for sure. It's just again, it's the goal is almost irrelevant if you're doing it properly, if that makes sense. You're trying to become the person who is healthy, right? You're not
Hmm.
trying to necessarily like juicing. I think you're very popular on juicing, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can lose 50 pounds or whatever. I mean, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I have my YouTube channel. I was doing some juicing, and I do like these. One time, I did a 50-day juice fast, and I did nothing. Ate no food, and I was just solid juice, fruit juice, and vegetable juice, and I lost like 40 pounds. And then another time, I did a 21 day. I've done several 21 days, and my personality is like I don't like to wait around for goals because goals take too long for me.
Mm-hmm.
my personality is, hey, I want to lose 30 pounds and I want to do it now. I don't want to like do it over the next year.
Right.
So I have to like juice and lose it all now.
Right.
And then my goal's done. And then I can move on and go do something else.
Right.
You know, that's why I say I'm terrible at goals, because I'm just impatient with goals.
Yeah, yeah.
And goals take some patience.
Yeah, you have to put in that work, right, to build those habits. So instead of you losing like 50 pounds in whatever time you lost it, it could take twice
Yeah.
as much, but you'll keep that weight off because you've changed the person who you are. You've
Yes.
adopted those hobbits.
Bilbo Baggins
Yeah.
has been adopted by Joaquin.
the habits into your life, you know. So it's
Yeah.
very important to do things right, because again, yo-yo diets are so popular, right? Like I'm doing keto, I'm doing fasting, I'm doing this, that,
Yeah.
but you're not really addressing the person in the mirror, right? Who you are, to
Yeah.
actually have those changes last a lifetime.
Now, one thing that I know, me personally, that helps me with my goals is these apps. When we're talking about food stuff, and
Yeah.
I did intermittent fasting for a while, and I was successful at it because I had that Zero app.
Mm-hmm.
And when that thing would actually tell me when to eat and then when to start, and it was so simple,
Right.
but it activated the competitiveness in my head, and so I was competing with myself, and so I knew that I could do it, and I was very disciplined with it.
Right.
You know. And so I guess I'm an app guy when it comes to that. So what is that?
Yeah, I think it's that kind of gamification of the apps that really like, you know, kids nowadays love video games because
Yeah.
it's feeding the dopamine. It's really getting us engaged. So these apps are doing that. So I don't see anything as good or as bad. I think most things are what you make of them. So again, like, dude, I know so many great apps that will help you, you know, decrease your anxiety with some meditation apps, some exercise apps. It just gamifies it. It kind of makes it makes it more tangible, right? If you don't
Yeah.
have that, then it's more just emotional. But when you actually like write something down, or when you check off a box, it comes to life. It brings it in reality.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that Zero app for me is what I go on there and I look and I see the green bars. Because every time you meet your goal, it does a green bar.
Right, right.
And so I look on it, I'm like, oh, I got green bar. And then you get a little reward for going like 5 days in a row or
Right.
whatever, which is so stupid.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yes, I got me a badge.
But
I'm cool.
it literally like changes everything, having that. And another thing that's very important, I think, maybe not as much, but the accountability aspect of it, knowing that you have that and you want it to improve. I feel like the podcast is going to be successful because we're going to keep each other accountable.
Right.
Maybe where before I would have done a few episodes and stopped because no one's counting on me.
Yeah.
But now that we're accountable to each other, like, dude, we have to do it. Like, it does, like, we're just going to have to get it done.
That's so true, because when I did my juicing, you know, I put it on YouTube, not so I could like get a bunch of views or anything. I did it because of the accountability, and it works for me because that's the kind of person I am. Is like, if I'm gonna do something, I need everybody to know about it so I can be accountable to
Right.
everybody, you know?
Yeah,
That's so true. Yeah.
It's putting skin in the game, right? Like, now that you told everyone this, you don't want to look like a fool or like a failure, which I've honestly have many, many times. I've say this and I don't do it. So now that I have you to keep me accountable to this, like, there's more odds of us becoming rich and famous.
Yes. And I'm texting Joaquin like at 4 a.m. Well, there's a good idea
Yeah,
here.
and
Let's do it.
I'm in California, so that is
Yeah.
it's very early.
Are you an early guy or a late
I
guy?
am such a night owl.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah. No,
Yeah. see,
I've
I'm an early
tried,
guy.
right? Especially you read all these books and like, oh, the most successful people are early risers, and not me.
So, but when I text you at 8 and you reply, I'm like, you should be sleeping. Why are you
Yeah,
replying
no,
to me?
I want to be an early person. Maybe one day I will, but you asked me, and
Yeah.
like, I have no issue staying up till like 1 a.m. I have issues waking up at 6 a.m., you know?
Oh, yeah. See, I used to be like that, and then I turned 40, and now I have a hard time staying up past 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 11:35 right
Yikes,
now,
dude.
p.m., so yeah. Okay, let's talk about debt, because that's a huge one for everybody. The
Right.
goal of getting out of debt, or actually the goal of getting your finances in order.
Yeah.
Because to me, everybody wants to invest and have a retirement and all these things, but you got to go back to getting out of debt first.
Huge.
It all starts with that.
Yeah.
And so, and really, to me, that is easier than losing weight. getting out of debt.
Yeah, it just depends. I feel like we're all so different that some people find this easier, other people find this easier. But I think going through that, the checklist of make sure that you're not the victim, you know what I mean, controlling your
Hmm.
environment, doing all those things that I talked about before, I think can be input into any habit or anything that you want to change, any goal, it be health or finance or relationship.
Yeah, relationship goals. That's not just a meme, huh?
Mhm.
It's actual thing. Yeah, I know that. I guess some of my from my personal life relationship goals, like you want to be for me, like being a husband, I want to be a better listener
Right.
and be a better, man, I've had so many things I've had to work on in my 20 plus years of marriage,
Right.
being a husband and being a dad. Uh, it's you're constantly working on it. You're never going to reach superstardom
Yeah,
of
yeah.
parenthood.
Right, no, for sure. Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
one book that you're going to read that's going to make you a perfect parent
Hmm.
or a perfect partner or a perfect anything.
Going back to debt though,
Hmm.
in I think it was 2009, my wife and I, we were in a 5 bedroom house, and we had some credit card debt, we had a car note, we had a lot of different things going on, and we looked at each other and we said, you know what, this is going to sound crazy, but why don't we sell the house
Wow.
and let's take one. I said, if you'll give me 1 year, I can get us out of debt. And she's like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "It's kind of a good time. It was kind of a good time in the market to sell your house." And I said, "Let's just sell the house." She's like, "Okay, let's do it." And so we literally sold. It was 6 of us. We've got 4 kids. We sold the house, and it took us like 2 weeks, and boom, the house was sold.
Wow.
And we moved into from like a 2,500 square foot home. We moved into like a 800 square foot rent house.
Yikes. I'm sure
And our
everyone
and
was
our,
happy.
Oh, dude, it was exciting. We were like,
Father of the year.
it was like camping together. But the kids were still young enough; they thought it was fun,
Right.
But we went like from a $2,500 a month mortgage and insurance to like $750 a month rent.
Jeez, that's so nice. Oh,
I know, and so we were just like crammed in there. But we had my wife and I was she was on board, and she was so awesome, and she just really was like, let's do this, let's do it. And so I budgeted and did the whole deal, did the whole Dave Ramsey thing, and got us out of debt. And literally, I told her, I said, if you'll give me 1 year, and then we'll buy a house and we'll be totally debt free. And she's like, okay. And so literally, Joaquin, like a day, 1 year to the day,
wow.
I got a phone call from a realtor because we had gotten out of debt. We were
Right.
done within a year. We were boom, it was gone. We didn't have any debt. All credit cards, car was paid
Wow.
off, everything. And a realtor called me and said, "Hey, I got a house that I want y'all to look at." And literally, that was our house. And we wound up buying it, and that
Wow.
was the only debt we had was our house note.
Right, the mortgage.
So yeah, but that was a goal that her and I
Right.
agreed on and set, and we just like pounded away at it until we got it.
Yeah, yeah. Did
Yeah,
you feel like you were a victim when you were getting out of debt?
I did not. I mean,
And you clearly controlled your environment by changing it
yeah,
drastically.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how I'm struggling to even figure out how I could feel like a victim in that situation, but I guess, I could feel like we did that to ourselves, maybe, and that
Yeah.
we kind of did that to ourselves, and now we couldn't get out of it. But literally, we were willing to sacrifice and just suck it up and do it.
Yeah, yeah. You put
And
your money where your mouth is, quite
yeah,
literally.
yeah. But so yeah, that's just part of our journey, and we've been out of debt, other than a house note
Right.
ever since. And we have credit cards, we pay them off every month,
Right.
and so
Cool, man.
yeah,
That's great.
goals.
Yeah. Likewise with me, except no mortgage and kids.
Yeah.
Had a few stupid credit card debt or loan here.
Hmm.
Really took it seriously, and I was like, hey, I got to get out of this, and chopped up the credit
Yeah.
cards for a while.
Yeah.
But controlling your environment, making sure you don't have those with you, and then
Hmm.
really deciding, right? You have to want to change at the end of the day. You have to
You
want
do.
to hit your goals at the end of the day, because if you don't, then it could be the easiest path, and you won't get it done because
Right.
you don't want it, and that's fine, and that's okay. I feel like you have to kind of accept that as well, and be like, okay, I'm not ready now, but one day I will, because there's also a lot of guilt that, like, oh, I feel guilty, I feel bad because I'm in debt or because I'm not healthy. So just accept that you're not ready, absorb as much information as you can, and then one day down the line you'll be ready, and you'll do it.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So, yeah, goals are a powerful thing, and if we just kind of focus, and then lately, I don't know what's. I go through periods of my life where I'm very goal oriented,
Right.
and there's periods of time where I'm just like, I have no goals.
Yeah, yeah, no,
It's just,
and that's again, it's not, it's life, it's nature. It ebbs and flows. There's times where you're gonna be very motivated, and then there's times where you're gonna be very lethargic. But again, if you build those habits into the goals themselves, it doesn't matter how motivated you are or how
mhm.
kind of sad you are, because your brain has created that neural pathway to want to do the habit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things
Yeah,
that we do without thinking about anymore because there's literally like a neural pathway built into our brain. And imagine like the habits are the best things ever because it's just saving so much energy, time, and resources in our brain. So that's why it's just like, again, I don't know if I said this already, but there's no such thing as something that's good or bad. It's just, it is what it is. So might
yeah.
as well look at it like that and use it to your advantage.
I guess you could say goals prioritize things in your life
Yeah, for
because,
sure.
like, there's things that I need to do in my life, but it's like, okay, when you have a goal,
Hmm.
you recognize them, and you're
Huge.
saying, okay, I'm gonna prioritize these things, push them to the front of my life,
Right.
and I'm gonna deal with them, and this is my priority right now.
Right.
And so
Yeah,
that's
and the main thing is, well, the opposite of that is like the procrastination, right? That
hmm
resistance. And there's this book called The Art of War,
yeah.
The War of Art. The Not the military book, The War of Art. The Art of I don't know, I'll have it boom right there.
You'll put it up there.
Stephen
That's it.
Pressfield is the author. Dude, that book is so good,
Is it
dude.
really?
It's a quick read, dude. It's so good. It just talks about resistance, procrastination, and it just paints everything in like a different light, and it's very, very good. Highly recommend that book.
I need to get that because one of the goals I do have is to read more, and I don't. I'm so bad at reading
Dude, I
because
have a bunch of books. I have many, many I
really.
can recommend you. Yeah, but here's a secret. Don't tell anyone.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily read them all. I have Audible, and I'm very active, so
Ah,
throw on an
yeah.
audiobook on a hike or on a run or at work or
hmm
whenever. And if I really like the book, I purchase it to support the author. And
Ah,
if it's
very
really, really
nice.
good, then I sit down and underline, take notes on the book.
Yeah. That's our generation now. We learn while we're doing, we multitask. And people are like there's people who are on their treadmills right now listening to this
Yeah,
or on the toilet listening to this, which is fascinating.
yeah.
That people
Make sure to wipe and
listen.
wash your hands if you're in the toilet.
Yeah, please, yes. Yeah. So, how about investing, man? We all these have these investing goals
Yeah,
and
no, I think
uh,
relationship goals are very important. You can't be like, oh, my wife is like this, or my spouse is like this, or my boyfriend is like this. You have to take responsibility. Not
hmm
and investing again, it goes with like building those habits in of not getting into debt. And everything is so automated now for investing. You don't even have to think
yeah,
about it. When the check comes in, a percentage of it goes to the investment, and you're done. So again, it's just knowing and controlling your environment because
yeah.
imagine if you had to like think about everything when you pull out of the driveway. Like imagine like everything that you have to think about. Do you remember where you were learning how to drive? I'm sure you don't because you're very old, but do you remember, like, if you're listening?
Yeah, we had buggies and
Yeah.
horses and stuff.
I remember I was freak out, like check the mirrors 4 or 5 times, and like, is this park? No, it's okay. I think I got it. And oh shoot, the brake. The mirror. So imagine going through that now. It's like zoom,
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
So like, why make your hard? Why make your life hard? Build those habits. And the beautiful thing is like all that information is out there, and we'll be making videos on how to set up a brokerage account and how to automate
hmm
all this stuff eventually. Yeah.
And that's true. That's very true because investing is actually very boring. It's like if you're doing it the way that you're saying, if you're a young person and you say, "Hey, I'm gonna make a decision to start investing now so I can have a retirement," then it is. It's like this is my paycheck. Take a percentage.
Mm-hmm.
This goes here. It's nothing real sexy about it. It's like boom, here it is, and then we're done.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, now let's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
just.
good. So I feel like a lot of stuff, especially now in our culture, is just instant gratification. I want this now. I want this now. I want
Yes.
Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and it's gonna go to a million. Oh, this penny stock
Mm-hmm.
is gonna make me rich. Or oh, this smoothie is gonna fat loss this. Or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we want that, and it's just inherent in us
Mm-hmm.
now, especially with this culture. Like the phones give you everything so quick. We're always wanting that next rush of dopamine. So yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like most things in life aren't that hard, but they're
Mm-hmm.
pretty boring.
Yes.
To look
The
amazing naked is just, eat well,
Well,
sleep well, work out, try to manage stress. You know what I mean? Very basic things, but no, we want that protein powder with this energy drink with this liquid diet. You know, it just it
hmm
gets foggy because we want that instant gratification. We want it now, now, now.
yeah,
And I mean,
yeah,
I'm right there with you, everyone. Like, I'm like that too.
hmm yeah, and anything worth building correctly or right, it just takes time, and yeah, it's not exciting sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just the work. Even starting a YouTube channel, like people look at people that are like have a million followers and they're like, oh my gosh, well that person started out and just had
The
like a goal
grind.
of 1,000 subscribers and then
Right.
2,000. It's just the grind. You're right.
Yeah, it's a grind, yeah. And you just have to suck it up and put in work.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff, man. So, yeah, if you're out there and you're like thinking about starting
Just do
goals
it,
and
just do it, just do it.
everybody's just do it, man. And I guess writing it
It's
down
very important. Very
is
important.
very
Yeah.
important.
Same thing with making them as like really write them down and kind of it sounds so lame because like visualize, the secret, but
hmm
there's value in that. There is value in writing your goals down and sitting down for a few minutes and really processing them and visualizing them. There is value in that, but
Yeah.
again, it's not gonna be that easy. You still have to put in the work. Make
Yeah.
make sure your goals are as descriptive as possible. Give yourself a deadline. Measuring. It goes back to the apps that we were talking about. It really helps you track
hmm
everything. Tracking is very important. Smart goals.
Yeah.
Just Google that one. If you, we'll probably I'll make a video on it this week or next week. It's already Friday. Talking about smart goals, and it'd be like a 5-minute clip, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in depth.
Cool. So that's going to be your goal for this week is to make a
Yeah,
video.
this weekend to have it ready for
This weekend.
for next week. Yeah.
Awesome. So what are like some of your current goals you're working on right now?
Current goals is just being consistent with this podcast.
hmm
Same thing. Buying a house.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
So you're currently saving for that down
Yeah,
payment?
saving
It's
for the,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, but I'm taking this seriously. This podcast with you. I mean,
hmm
you should. I get at least 25 messages from like every day.
I know, because I'm just
Every day.
excited
Yeah,
about it right now.
yeah.
It's my new toy. It's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, and
That's my personality.
yeah, no, it's very, yeah. And then we're very similar in that aspect too, which is pretty
Yeah,
funny.
are we? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I kind of get. So yeah, but for sure. What about you? Any goals?
My goals right now, well, it's hard for me because we just had 2 hurricanes, so my whole life right now is just like insurance companies
Right.
and this and that. So I don't have a lot of time for like things. This is like the most exciting thing I do. That's just not hurricane insurance work related, but my business and everything like that. It's just like I could just relax and chill and enjoy it. But typically, like some of my goals are changing in life now that I'm getting a little bit older, and like some of the goals I have are with my wife, and we want to like start. There's certain places we want to go to travel.
Right.
Like I think we're gonna try to go to Croatia at the end of this year, and so that's like a goal we're working on right now is to get that trip
Right.
lined out and everything. So we might be doing some podcasts from
Ooh, that'd be
Croatia. That'd
cool.
be
I'm
fun.
sure they have great internet there.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm gonna be in an internet cafe putting dimes in the thing. Ling, 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 ling. Okay, 20 more minutes. But yeah, no, that's our goals right now. I have personal financial goals that I'm working on,
Right,
and I'm really starting to try to work with my kids. I've worked with them their whole lives, ever since they could, do addition and stuff.
Right.
One of my big goals in life is to teach them about money, teach them about investing. And so we play games like cash flow and for cash flow for kids and stuff
That's
like that.
Robbie
because
Kiyosaki's like Monopoly
board
right?
game, yeah. And it's so awesome. And so I'm starting to see through my kids the goals that I've set to teach them about money starting to come to fruition, Like my youngest son, he came to me the other day and he's like, "Hey, Dad, I really want a new video game." And I was like, he kept on me and on me and on me because he's relentless.
Right.
And I said, "Tell you what," he took that day trading course, and I said, "Tell you what, if you will make $500 day trading, it's fake money, but it's still day trading."
Right.
I said, "If you can make $500, you can buy that video game." He was wanting to buy it with his own money.
Right,
And
right.
I was like, he's like, "Okay." Next morning he gets up and he gets on, the market opens, he's doing TQQ, SQQ,
Right,
he's trading it. And dude, he comes to me, he's like, "All right, man, I just paid $276. And I'm like, "What?" And I go and look at it. He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "That was easy. That took me like 10 minutes." And I was like, oh my gosh. And then the next day he lost 50. And the next day he lost 40. But then he texted me the other day and he's like, hey, Dad, I made like another $250. I'm like,
Are
wow.
you creating little gamblers?
I don't know what I'm creating, but all I know is that kids are smart enough
Yeah.
to understand
Yes.
how
Absolutely.
they play video games that are
Yeah.
more complex than day trading,
Yeah,
you know?
no.
So I was just like, I was so excited
No,
to
that's
see
awesome.
him do
No,
that.
and all that's gonna play a huge dividend in his lives, like so.
Yeah.
Again, maybe your parents didn't do that, but it's still
No.
not too late for you to get that information to learn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we got a lot of feedback, Joaquin, about the question that we asked about. We proposed a question about talking about finances around the dinner table,
Right.
Parents and kids, because a lot of people didn't do that, and so many people wrote me and said, "Hey, man, that's we didn't do that, or
Yeah.
we did that, or and so I think that's a conversation we're gonna have
Yeah,
again.
no, I think it depends on like the situation, right? Like if you're a parent and you're barely scrapping around money
Mm-hmm.
to give your kids the bare necessities, it's probably not something you're too proud of or maybe even feel a little ashamed about. So I think it just plays a role, that saying the rich keep on getting richer. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's just like life can be unfair sometimes, but that's okay. So if someone was born rich and their parents talked about money and showed them all this stuff compared to a family that didn't have, weren't well off, didn't have really have money, so the kids never really got introduced to all that. Like it's
Yeah.
just all. But again, that it doesn't really matter because we have access to the same things now. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire or if you're homeless, because people here that are homeless have their phones, have access to internet. So again, like
Hmm.
if you have access to internet, you have access to knowledge, and you have access
Yeah.
to improve yourself. And
Yeah.
yeah, and life isn't fair, but we still have to make do.
Yeah. So cool, man. Yeah. So definitely write down your goals and put them in front of your face.
Oh, let
That's
us know
really
in the
good.
comments below. That sounds like
Yeah, I
fun.
really want to know
Yeah,
what your current goals are right now. That's good. Please talk to
yeah,
us. We
yeah.
love that.
Let us know.
And that's cool. Well, man, that's cool show today. I really learned a lot. I learned a lot from you about that whole victim thing. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's very, very important. Very important.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
think
I'm
about
gonna
it.
have to do some self-reflecting now and see if I'm getting in the way of my own goals.
And
My
we all are.
mentality.
We all are in a little bit. Some more than others, but we're in it together, man. We just have to help each other out.
Yeah, I have to look in the mirror and scream at myself. Get out the way, Mike. You're in my way of my goals, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, dude. We did 43 minutes, like no problem. What do you
Oh,
guys
is it
think?
43
yeah,
minutes already?
yeah. So do you guys want the longer content? Chop it up a little bit, maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Let us know in the comments below. I'm just super curious because again, I think we can go for another 15, no problem. But
Yeah.
we can probably wrap it up sooner than later.
We can't go 15. You know why? Because I have 5% battery left on my Mac.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
Yikes.
Because this is the second time we recorded this because my internet was caca
Yeah, yeah.
in my closet that I was in.
Yeah, he was. I mean, we did miss the sheep ram thing, and
Yeah, I'll have to.
who else was the pillow? DeVito.
Danny DeVito
Yeah,
was
yeah,
on the pillow.
yeah. See, it's again, but
Yeah.
I think this was much better. I mean, they don't know, but it's much better than the previous one that we did
Behind the scenes.
behind the scenes. Yeah, I don't think anyone's listening past like the 20-minute mark, so we can talk about whatever
Anyway,
we want.
yeah. So anyway, our next episode we should maybe have a guest with us. It'd be
Yes, hopefully.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
wait. And again, if you're interested, these are like the legit people that actually listen to everything. Shoot us an email in the comments below. Anything, just get a hold of us, and we would love to probably have you on for a bit, ask you a bunch of questions. Where you live, social security, just basic questions.
Yeah. Yeah, just about your
Yeah.
goals.
Sweet, brother.
cool, man.
Yeah, this is great.
All right. So yeah, one last time, go and find us on Instagram and shoot us an email. All that stuff's in the description below. And man, I had a great time. Peace.